The echoing voice. Liam Maxwell, a titan of industry at 47, lived a life defined by solvable problems. Crises were puzzles, not catastrophes, and his empire was built on a simple philosophy. The right tools, the right people, and enough capital could fix anything. But his 5-year-old daughter, Ava, was not a problem. She was a silent storm, a fortress built of fear since the day 2 years ago when a botched kidnapping attempt left her mute. Doctors called it trauma-induced mutism. Liam called it a personal failure. He'd thrown everything he had at her silence. World-renowned therapists, music classes, even a specially trained emotional support animal. Nothing worked. Ava remained a ghost in her own home, her bright spirit locked away. Then, in a small city park, a stranger shattered his carefully constructed world. Her name was Maya. She was a young woman with a quiet confidence that belied her years, and eyes that saw through layers of pretense. Liam, in his expensive suit, was a blur of frustration, trying to get Ava to engage with the world. Maya, in her simple denim jacket, was just a whisper away from a miracle. "Does your daughter not speak?" she asked, her voice gentle. Liam bristled, his usual defenses rising. "She has selective mutism. It's trauma-induced. We're working with therapists." Maya simply shook her head. "I didn't ask what the doctor said," she replied, her voice soft but steady. "I asked if she can speak." Liam had no answer. He was used to people deferring to his authority, not cutting through it. He stepped between her and Ava, a protective wall. That's when Maya whistled. It was a short, haunting melody, a lullaby that seemed to float on the cool air, delicate and otherworldly. Liam froze. He recognized that tune. It was the same one a witness had described hearing after the kidnapping attempt, sung softly by a woman who had cradled Ava until help arrived. Ava's head tilted. Her small fingers, buried in the sandbox, stilled. Maya leaned in, her voice a low murmur. "Do you remember that song, Sweet Pea?" Then, a sound Liam hadn't heard in 2 years. A bright, unrestrained laugh. It rang out like a silver bell. Ava giggled. "Safe now," she said, a breathy whisper. Then dog, tree, moon. Liam's knees went weak. He crumpled to the ground, his hand over his mouth, eyes wide with disbelief. His daughter, his silent daughter, was speaking. She pointed to a nearby squirrel. "Fuzzy," she said. Liam let out a choked sob and buried his face in his hands. He wasn't just shocked, he was undone. "It was never gone," Maya said softly, her hand near Ava's. "She just needed to remember she had one." Liam looked up through tear-blurred eyes. "Who are you?" She smiled, a hint of ancient wisdom in her gaze. "Maya Jones. I work with kids with special needs. This little lady just needed someone to talk to her like she's whole, not broken." His eyes scanned her face, then fell to her wrist. He saw it just as she lifted her hand to tuck a strand of hair behind her ear, a long, faded scar. He remembered the police report. The witness who had refused to leave Ava's side until the paramedics arrived. The injury. He had never seen her face, only the details in a file. "You," he whispered, the word a mix of reverence and disbelief. Ava had already turned back to the sandbox, her fingers happily digging in the dirt. Speaking was just another game she'd remastered. The Unlikely Alliance. Liam was a man of solutions. He called his private accountant and set up an anonymous, fully paid scholarship for Maya's son. Some debts could not be repaid in words. He met Maya for coffee, his mind still reeling. She ordered hot chocolate. He stuck with black coffee. They sat by the window, watching Ava play. Camola, August 17, 2025, 16:12. "I'm not trying to step on your parenting," Maya said. "I just saw a little girl who needed something real." She explained her work at a community center in Queens, volunteering mostly, some paid gigs. "I believe some moments are too powerful to be coincidences," she said. "Your daughter spoke because something in her saw something safe in me. That's not magic. That's human." Liam swallowed hard. "Would you consider spending more time with her?" "With Ava?" "I'm not a therapist," Maya replied. "I don't have letters after my name." "I'm looking for someone who sees her," he countered. She paused, a soft smile on her lips. I'll think about it. 2 days later, Liam was back at the sandbox. This time, there was no phone in his hand, no security detail. Just him, Ava, and a small picnic basket. She come? Ava asked, her voice a whisper. I hope so, sweetie, he said, his heart a raw bundle of hope. Then, as if summoned by his very thought, Maya arrived. She had her son with her, a wiry boy with wide eyes and a mischievous smile. Ava smiled at him, and he immediately began digging in the sand as if on a mission to China. You came, Liam said, a stupid grin spreading across his face. I realized it wasn't something I had to think hard about, Maya said, handing Ava sliced apples. She sat down, opening a picture book. Liam felt awkward. Can I sit? He asked. You're the billionaire, she teased. You don't need permission from me. He chuckled, and the sound was foreign to him, free of stress. I'm trying not to be that billionaire today. Maya's voice was animated as she read. Ava mouthed along to a few simple words. When Ava was engrossed, Liam leaned closer to Maya. She remembers the lullaby. You sang it during... Maya nodded without looking up. I had nothing else to give her but my voice. Why didn't you tell the police? The press? I didn't want to be in the headlines, she said. I've seen what media does to women like me. I saved a child. That was enough. He looked at her wrist. And the scar. She shrugged. Got in the way. They had a knife. I pushed them back. Nothing heroic, just a reflex. Liam felt a knot of guilt and gratitude. I've forgotten a lot, he admitted. That's okay, she replied. You're here now. As they were leaving, Maya said, I was wondering, would you ever consider doing this more regularly? You want to pay me to be her friend? She asked with a teasing grin. No, he said, shaking his head. I just want her to have someone she trusts. Someone real. If you're willing, maybe we could schedule park days or library trips. She studied his face. You trust me with your daughter, Mr. Maxwell? I do. Okay. But on one condition. You show up too. No phones, no suits, no vanishing behind meetings. She needs a father, not just a safe environment. Deal. As they walked away, Ava tugged on his sleeve. She nice, she said. Liam knelt and hugged her. For the first time, she didn't pull away. Instead, she pressed her small hands against his chest and whispered, You smell like coffee. Liam laughed, a real laugh, and the ache he had carried for years began to loosen its grip. For the first time, he wasn't just surviving as a father. He was showing up. The rising storm. The quiet harmony they'd found was shattered by a phone call. An officer from the city's police department, Detective Davies, was asking about the 2-year-old case. Some inconsistencies have surfaced, he said. Maya's heart sank. Liam was at her side in seconds. Everything okay? Just an old shadow, she said, shoving her phone back in her pocket. Nothing for you to worry about. But Liam was already dialing his own number. Phil, he said to his security chief, I need you to look into something, quietly. The police are sniffing around a woman named Maya Jones. I want to know why. That night, Liam sat in his home office, staring at a file Phil had delivered. Maya Jones, age 29, former nursing student. No criminal record. But one flagged incident. She had witnessed and intervened in a child abduction at age 18. She had refused further cooperation after being treated as a suspect. She keeps saving kids, Liam murmured aloud. And they keep questioning her for it. He visited the community center where she volunteered. The director, a woman named Mrs. Langston, told him, She's one of ours. If someone's trying to make her carry the past again, I suggest, Mr. Maxwell, that you help her unpack it before someone else tries to bury her under it. That evening, Maya came to his apartment. She looked tired but not defeated. The police called again, she said. They keep circling back to the night I found Ava. They even brought up the abduction from when I was a teenager. They think there's a pattern. Maya looked down at her hands. They think I'm too close to these things. That maybe I attract trouble, or worse, that I created it. Liam gently covered her hand with his. I've seen you with my daughter. Whatever pain you've been through, whatever scars they want to dig at, you are the reason she's healing. More than that, I believe in you." She exhaled shakily. "They want me to come to the precinct next week. I'm scared." "You won't go in alone," he promised. "I'll have my legal team there. I'll be there if you want." "Why are you doing this? You don't owe me anything." He smiled sadly. "I thought I was a good man before this. But I was just successful. You showed me what it means to really show up. Now we protect that voice with everything we've got." The truth unveiled. At the precinct, Maya faced Detective Davies again. He was a man with eyes that saw assumption, not truth. He brought up the two incidents. "Why does trouble seem to follow you?" he asked. "Because I don't walk away when a kid is screaming," Maya replied, her voice shaking but steady. "Maybe that makes me suspicious to you, but I sleep at night." He closed his folder. "You're free to go." As they left, a bitter journalist named Blake Tennyson, who had hounded her after the first incident, confronted them at a small cafe. "Funny how a woman with no formal credentials ends up in the inner circle of a billionaire," he sneered. "Makes people wonder what else is being traded." The insinuation hit like ice water. Liam's voice dropped. "You need to leave now." Tennyson's words were a wake-up call. Maya said, "He's not going to stop. He'll be stopped. Not by money, not by lawyers. People like him twist reality for a living." "Then let's give him something undeniable," Liam said. "A press conference. You, me, and Ava. The real story." It was a risky move, but silence was no longer an option. At the press conference, Maya spoke with a quiet resolve. She told her story, the two abductions, the betrayal she felt, and the courage she found. "Because staying silent doesn't protect people like me anymore," she said. "The only way to fight whispers is with truth." Liam stood beside her. "This woman gave me my daughter back. Not just by pulling her from danger, but by giving her a reason to smile again." A reporter from the back, a friend of Tennyson, asked, "How do you respond to claims that your proximity to both cases is suspicious?" Maya stood, her gaze unblinking. "I respond by asking you a question," she said. "If you saw a child in danger, what would you do? Would you film it? Would you tweet it? Or would you act?" Applause, brief at first, then genuine, broke out. Ava looked up at Maya. "You're my hero," she said, her voice small but clear. The cameras caught everything. The child's words, the woman's tears, the father's hand resting on both of their shoulders. The world watched, and for the first time, it listened. Kamola, August 17, 2025, 16:12. A different kind of fight. The press conference was a triumph. But victory came with new shadows. A grainy video surfaced, a conspiracy podcast suggesting the rescue was staged. Liam's security chief, Phil, showed him the footage. "Hero or plant?" the headline read. That evening, a car slowed beside Maya as she walked home. A voice from a tinted window sneered, "Nice job on stage, Maya. Too bad heroes don't get happy endings." Liam showed up at her apartment the next day. "I had your building added to our security sweep," he said. He showed her the video. "They're saying I faked everything," she murmured. "They don't care about truth," he said. "They care about confusion." "What if this isn't just about me?" Maya asked. She told him about a faint, jagged tattoo on the wrists of both attackers. "I think it's the same man." Liam's mind raced. "Why didn't you tell me this before?" "I didn't want to sound paranoid." "You're not paranoid," he said. "You're connecting dots no one else has seen." He sent Phil on a new mission. Find the source of the video and the man with the tattoo. The symbol matched a defunct biker gang, the Black Crown Syndicate, known for human trafficking. The man's name, Victor Mendez, a former police officer who had questioned Maya after her first heroic act and then disappeared. "He knew you," Liam said. "Maybe he's always known you." "Then we find him," Maya said. "This could be dangerous." "This man tried to steal my voice when I was 18, she said, her eyes blazing. "He tried to take Ava's. He's not getting away a third time." They tracked Mendez to an old paper mill in a remote area. It was a fortress, a recruitment facility for lost teenagers, where Mendez groomed them to believe they were part of a new, just system. "He thinks he's saving them," Maya whispered, "but he's just grooming them." They got inside, taking photos of recruitment files and coded messages. In one folder, Maya found her own file, labeled Flatbush Incident 2008. Her teenage face stared back at her. Beneath it, a note in red ink, "Unreliable witness, watch for later use." "They mocked me from the start," she whispered. Just then, Victor Mendez stepped into the room, flanked by armed guards. "Look who finally came home," he said with a smooth smile. "This ends tonight," Liam said, stepping forward to protect Maya. But before a single shot could be fired, a sharp whistle pierced the air. Red and blue lights flashed outside. Helicopters roared overhead. The FBI, called in by Liam, had arrived. "I made the call an hour ago," Liam grinned. "Just in case you decided to give a monologue." Mendez's face twisted with rage. He was pinned against the wall by federal agents. The fortress built on fear began to crumble. The living beginning. In the quiet after the raid, Maya sat with Liam. She was exhausted, but her soul felt lighter. "What now?" she asked. "Now we heal," he said. "These kids will need therapy, new homes. We'll help." The media praised Maya's courage and Liam's persistence. But more importantly, the world listened. Teachers invited Maya to speak. Reporters who had spread rumors apologized. Her voice had become a bridge for others. Maya and Liam hosted the rescued youths and their families at the community center in Queens. The walls were now covered with colorful drawings of tulips, suns, and smiling families. "You changed everything," Liam whispered to her. "We changed everything," she corrected, a soft smile on her face. They worked tirelessly together. The community center became a hub of healing. The ripple effect was undeniable. Maya's quiet, steadfast leadership, combined with Liam's resources and strategic mind, created something enduring. The Purple Heart, once a symbol of a painful secret, became a beacon of hope, worn on shirts and pins across the city. One evening, months after it all began, Maya tucked Ava into bed. "Mama," Ava whispered, "when I grow up, I want to fix silence too." Maya kissed her forehead. "You already started, and so will everyone you love." Camola, August 17, 2025, 16:12. At City Hall, the expanded mental health initiative was passed unanimously. A mural from the community center now hung in the public gallery. "What began with one voice became the chorus that rescued us all," a council member said. Liam and Maya celebrated quietly. They sat on his balcony, their hands intertwined. "To voices reclaimed, shared, passed on," Liam toasted. "To echoes that never fade," Maya replied. In the quiet glow of their home, among symbols of healing and strength, two voices once alone in the dark had become the harmony of a city reborn. This story had found its living beginning, a reminder that one voice, no matter how soft or once silenced, can ignite powerful change.